Hello and welcome to Faith on Film. Holly, this is our second show coming from Content 22 at Capernaum Studios, your stomping grounds.
That's right. I'm Holly McClure, and I love this show, and I love working at Capernaum, and I love what we did. We had so much fun, Isaac. Content 22, interviewing different people, talented people who did everything from create movies and write stories to bending pans with their hands. Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, we saw a guy. You are going to see today a man actually take a frying pan that he bought from Walmart and bend it with his own hands. It was unbelievable, and it was fun to watch.
Wow, he says he bends it like a burrito. I can bend a tortilla like a burrito.
And he has a great story about coming to the Lord to go with it, so it was very inspiring.
Yes, he does. All right, well, hey, let's not take any more time because there's a lot to watch here. So let's go right to him, all right?
Okay.
Here you go.
Okay, with me is Ron Waterman, and we just saw an amazing demonstration. Not only did he do this, which is kind of impossible to do. That was hard. An aluminum bat, right?
It was a little bit difficult, yeah. I've done a few of them, though.
And to the phone book, to, what else? 7-Up cans.
And I rolled up a frying pan.
Oh,
got that to look like a big steel burrito.
Are you going to return it to
I am. I'm taking it right back to Walmart.
to Walmart and go, it didn't work. But what ministry, what do you do? Why are you here at Content 22?
Well, I am a new actor, and so I'm new to this environment, so I'm hoping to get some great acting leads from this. But I've traveled around for the last 20 years with Feet Ministries, doing feats of strength, winning people to Jesus, because the feats of strength, although they're impressive and fun to watch sometimes, are just the bait to get people to come out and watch us. You see, we get a unique crowd that comes out, guys that wouldn't normally come to church on a Sunday morning or listen to a Christian message, but they'll come watch these big, strong guys do these crazy feats of strength, and then they get to hear about Jesus, and that's what it's all about.
And that's what you did today, isn't it?
Amen.
You gave your feet of strength, and then you gave an invitation and a personal story about a guy named Chubby.
A guy named Chubby. That was my story, and I get to share that with all the kids.
And that is impressive because a lot of kids may relate to that story and then realize, wow, that was you. Look where you are today and what you came from.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping for. I want to relate to some of those kids that have struggled in school, that have been bullied, that have had a hard time, and that they know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And although I can't mention the word of Jesus in our public schools today in school, I can still invite them out to a nighttime program and get them in front of Jesus where they do get to hear about the Lord.
Now, are you married or have a family?
I am. I'm married. I live in Colorado, and I've got 3 beautiful children, 2 grown boys and an 8-year-old little girl that's got my heart.
Well, let's say their names so I can see Daddy Tail on.
I have Justin and Austin back at home in Colorado, and I have my little daughter, Sophie Jo Waterman.
And of course, is there a wife involved?
And my wife's name is Daisy.
You can't leave her out.
I shouldn't leave her out. She should be number 1 on the list.
Can't leave that out. So what do they think about Dad being the strong guy and touring around and doing all these feats of strength?
Well, the kids, that's all they know. They've seen me do this almost their entire lives. So I didn't want to be that absent father. I wanted to be there for them. And they've been to many of these programs with me and got to hear me talk about Jesus. So Jesus is number 1 in their lives as well.
Imagine having a dad where you go, oh, my dad, yeah, he tears phone books in half and he rolls frying pans into burritos. And I mean, they probably think they're making it up.
Yeah, they tell all the kids at school, and they'll bring a frying pan to school, and none of the kids believe them, of course.
Do they bring you for show and tell? I bet you're a fun show and tell dad.
They have done that before, yes. I've been in a few show and tells.
Now, you said you wanted to get into acting. Is there anything specifically at Content that you've talked to already? Because there's several people here doing projects.
I'll tell you what, this is the 3rd Content I've been to in a row, and I've had so many leads come out of this and so much great networking. I've actually signed letters of intent for 3 big movie roles coming up, and it's just exciting to see what happens here. And people are so godly, and that's what it's all about for me, is to do good Christian films that's going to influence this world and hopefully change it.
Okay, wait a minute. You've signed 3 letters of intents for films coming up?
Correct.
That's pretty cool. That's a big deal. Something actually came out of coming here.
Absolutely. It was directly coming out of here. I actually went home after the last Content that I was at and received 3 phone calls within a week with contracts to sign for movie roles. So
wow. So it can happen, folks. It can happen here at Content 2022. And it is like a community, isn't it? You feel like
it is. I feel like I'm coming back home, and it's almost like a reunion every single time I come now, because so many familiar faces, and even the ones that I meet for the first time are just such great godly people. I just want to come up and hug them every single time. They're just great people.
Okay, I'm just curious. Have you met The Rock or any guys that are in the movie business that are the big weightlifters and do this for their roles?
I've met just about all of them, yep. I got to travel around with Dwayne Johnson. I'm good friends with John Cena and all these guys that are making it big in Hollywood today. So I would like to do that on the Christian aspect of this business.
Well, if you've gotten to travel with them, maybe they would, open that door for you. Because, I mean, there you go.
You never
John
know.
Cena, I mean, come on.
It's all God's plan.
In the Rock. I've interviewed him. He's a sweet guy. He's a
Oh,
nice
good for
guy.
you. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's exciting. So for people that want to contact you or get in touch or hire you, how can they get in touch with you?
They can contact my agent, Katrina Frisco, with swag. And I also have a website, ronwaterman.com, that has all of my acting information on there and some reels. So that would be wonderful.
Oh, good. Okay, well, contact him there and have the next strong guy in your movie or your project or whatever you're doing. But plus, man of God, father, and I love that because, you're real. And God has blessed you, you can tell in your life, and will continue to do so because you've got him number one. So thank you. Thank you for your message that you gave as well.
Thank you, Holly. I appreciate that. God is good.
We're with Ulysses Lamendo, and he is an actor and probably producer, probably really part of all this, right?
I do a little directing and mostly acting, yes.
But what are you here to promote at Content 2022?
So we have a TV series called Breaking Strongholds. We finished season 1 already, and that's available on YouTube and a few other platforms. And we're shooting season 2 as we speak.
And what character do you play?
So my character is Chaplain Vic. Vic is a character from a previous movie that led to the story. I was a soldier that came home from Afghanistan with post-traumatic stress. Vic has now conquered his demons, and he's teaching others how to conquer theirs. There's a lot of trauma in this series. The series is mostly about teen suicide and depression and anxiety and abandonment, and a little bit of deception. So Vic actually teaches a course, which in real life is called Safe Talk.
Okay.
And it teaches teens and young people to pick up on cues on folks that are having suicidal thoughts so you can start the conversation. So you can do a little bit of suicide prevention or at least get them to a safe place. So that's what this is, and we're excited to be here at Content and trying to provide better content for our young people.
And where can they see season 1 again?
Season 1 is on YouTube and PureFlix and a few other platforms, but those are the two main ones. YouTube for free, all 4 episodes are right there. You can binge 1 through 4 and see the whole story.
Okay, now I want a personal background. Where'd you get your name from? Why'd your parents name you that? And where are you from?
Ulysses is a family name. A lot of my uncles and my grandfather, everybody has it in there. My twin sons have it in their name too. I'm from Cuba, born and raised. I came to the United States when I was 14, and it's been my home ever since. I was
Wow.
adopted twice.
Wait, what?
By America and by Jesus.
I'm like, wait, what? America and Jesus. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
So when did you get into acting? When did that become? You have twin boys, so clearly you have a family.
Yeah,
Were you doing something else, and then the Lord went, no, I
I'm
want
in
you
the
to be.
restaurant business. That's been my life.
Yeah.
But I pay my bills with the restaurant business. But acting's always been a part of my other stuff in high school, college, eventually church. And then I connected with the ministry that came out of our church. I was doing some short films and stories. And it led to the film that we talked about, We Are Stronger, and then it leads to this.
Okay. What's the name of your restaurant, and what kind of food is it?
Come on. Really?
I don't know. Is it Cuban food?
No.
Okay.
The food is a reflection of where I've been in my career. The gentleman behind the camera hasn't been to my restaurant yet. He loves lasagna, and I make a great lasagna, so hopefully he will come.
Ooh, I like lasagna. I'm coming
But
down there.
It's an international menu. It's a little bit of everything. Yeah,
And you're in South Texas, right?
I am. I'm in the north part of Houston, so the Woodlands, Conroe, Montgomery County area.
Okay. And are you seeing a lot more filmmakers and people in the industry kind of start coming to that area and producing and making films? Are you seeing an increase in the media industry, especially faith-based?
In Texas in general, yeah. I mean, I think if we were able to convince our legislators to give us more incentives, I think there's so many places in Texas that have great
Yes.
locations.
Yes.
So much history, so much. They really need to pay attention to that and do something about that, because Christian filmmaking is on the rise. God is on the move.
He's on.
God is on the move, and we need to pay attention and do more and do better quality films.
Yes.
Better quality, because the masses are looking for quality. We can't settle anymore for mediocre productions, right?
That's right.
And God deserves the best.
Okay, when are you going to produce something at Capernaum? When are you guys going to come up here and do something? Do a show or a movie? You need to come here. This is a place of peace.
I know, all right. I got to talk to Carla about that. She's the boss.
She's the boss.
Carla McDougall.
Thank you, Lucas.
It's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you, too. Okay, we are here with Terry Weaver, and he is in the. You're the movie star, or you're the producer?
No, I'm one of the actors in the television series. I wouldn't say star, but yes.
Well, we're all
Play,
stars, aren't we?
Detective Ethan James in the show,
Ethan James. Okay.
in Breaking Strongholds.
And what does your character do, or how are they involved in this? So people look for the series. What will they see you do?
He's a detective in a small town, and he's working on a missing person case, but also his family is in chaos, and he's kind of struggling with his kids. And this young man is Ryan in the show. And yeah, so that's a little bit about that.
And this is season 1. So where
right.
can people see this? Where can they watch it?
So it's on YouTube. That's where we're really pushing people. Just search for Breaking Strongholds. It's also on PureFlix and Truly, Chicken Soup for the Soul, MVN, and I believe it's on Crackle also. But it's easy to find. Search Breaking Strongholds on YouTube. You can watch the whole season right there.
And what is the overall theme of this show? Like, who is this going to resonate with? Just men, boys, teens, family, all ages? Who will it resonate with?
Well, I think families can watch this, families with teens. Also, I mean, you know, it's got a big Christian following. So I would say families, big time. Anyone over the age of 13, 14. So that's kind of who's watching it right now.
And the Breaking Strongholds, what is it referring to? Is it referring to like alcoholism or other things?
We're addressing a couple things. In season 1, our main theme is suicide. We're really showing that there's hope and that suicide is not the only option. Some people believe that life is so bleak that suicide is the best option, and we're showing that it's not, that there is hope. We also address depression and anxiety, broken families, deception. Now, this is all wrapped in something very entertaining. It's a faith-based mystery drama, so it's very intriguing, and so it captures you the first episode.
I am so glad you're addressing some of those areas in an entertaining way.
Yes.
Not that those are supposed to be entertaining, but it's something that at least people will, it's not just so depressing you can't watch it, but at least it has a message of hope in it. Because suicides are on the rise and on the increase. I remember hearing recently after Afghanistan and pulling out, there was more suicides with military, with vets that have lost hope. And I mean, this crosses the line with young teens and COVID and everything else. So what a relevant show for today.
Yeah, and you will find that it's just the opposite of discouraging. It is inspiring. The show's inspiring, and there is a message of hope, and that main message of hope is Christ. Our hope is in Christ.
Terry Weaver, what actor do you play? I mean, what role do you play again that we can look for in the show?
I play the lead detective in the show. I play Ethan James.
Ethan James. Okay, folks, look for Ethan James in this show, Strongholds, Breaking Strongholds, and it's on YouTube, and you said probably PureFlix and others.
It's on PureFlix. You can also go to breakingstrongholds.com and watch it directly there.
One thing, I feel like it just dropped in my spirit to ask you. How has this affected you in this playing in this show in this role?
Well, it's opened my eyes about how serious suicide is. I mean, it happens and no one hears about it because it's an issue that devastates families. And when it happens to a family, they go underground and they don't talk about it, and they're devastated for years. I read a statistic that for every suicide, it impacts 130 people. These are family, friends. It just devastates them. So it opened my eyes. I have neighbors and friends and people that I love who have been impacted by suicide, and it's more prevalent than we know. So we got to get this message out there.
Do you have family yourself?
Oh, yes, I have a family, yes.
Wife, kids?
4 kids and a wife.
Okay, so what are the ages of your kids?
I have ranging from 9 to 22.
Wow, so they're at the age that can learn from this show as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, this is about our future. Our youth is our future. We got to encourage them. It's not just going to encourage the youth, but they are our future. We got to start giving them media that's hopeful, because they're being bombarded by negative messages.
Yes. What do they think of their dad being in this show?
Yeah, they're kind of over it, but they always ask me if I'm famous, and I tell them, no, I'm not famous. I'm just in a show. And but they're the biggest promoters of this thing, because they know how impactful the message is.
Especially to their age demographic. All of them are in this demographic. They can
One's
learn
9
from this
years
show.
old, and you got to have a conversation with a 9-year-old before they watch this. But it's so important for them to learn about suicide from people who care about them and who will encourage them.
Yes.
Yeah, and let them know that there is hope.
Because they're being bombarded with it in their schools already
Right.
at that age.
We don't want them finding out from somebody who tells them the opposite, that it's an option.
Well, Their dad probably is famous in ways he won't admit to, but that's funny. Isn't it funny? I've interviewed different celebrities and said, well, what do your kids think when they're like, they barely even watch it or they don't think anything of it, or they'll be like, yeah, that's great. Yeah, a prophet in his own land, right?
Well, I encourage my kids. I'm their biggest fan, so I think they return that. Now, I don't know about the rest of my family and friends, but my kids they're all for it, and they're promoting Breaking Strongholds. They got the shirts, they wear them to school.
Let's mention your kids' names.
Presley, Liam, Laura, and Zen.
And your wonderful wife?
Shelly.
There you go.
She's my way better half.
Thanks again for the interview.
Thank you, Holly.
Hi, with us we have Taylor Cole, and she's got an interesting show to talk about a project she's working on. Taylor, welcome.
Thank you, Holly. Good to see
Good
you.
to see you as well. All right, what did you come here for Content 22? First of all, to either see or promote, and what are you working on?
Always working on something, and content gives me fresh ideas, and I just love being around other like-minded Christian creators who are wanting to be inspired and share and grow together. So I've come this time, Holly, working on Workable Faith. Workable Faith is all about business leaders who honor God in the marketplace. So I talk with business leaders, everybody from the C-suite to pest control technicians to roofers to conglomerate owners, but they are looking at ways that they can be brought into a community of other Christian leaders who want to honor God in the marketplace. And that can be different. Sometimes that's closed on Sunday, other times that's tithing to nonprofits and to churches, and others pray before they do every business transaction. So I'm learning from them, and I'm really excited about encouraging other business leaders.
Now, Taylor, is this a podcast or a show or a reality show? What is it?
It is actually a show, but I'm also distributing it primarily on LinkedIn because I want to reach business leaders right where they are.
Wow, that's a smart idea to do it on LinkedIn where the business people are.
Yes, I've been able to bring in a lot new of guests to be part of the show, and also to bring people into a level of awareness about what's out there, about other options for them. Many of them think, do I have to put a big banner on the outside of my door to say that I'm a Christian business leader? Others think, well, that's something that's separate, that I keep church and state separate. But actually, if we're living in the body of Christ and Jesus Christ resides in us through the Holy Spirit, we are entering the room and we're bringing Christ's presence with us.
Absolutely correct. How can people get in touch with you if you want to learn more about this?
My website is tvwithtlc.com. You're also welcome to follow me on social media, and that's Travel with TLC. And you can find me on LinkedIn as well.
Thank you so much. I love the idea, and go into our website and check it out so you can be involved too.
Thanks, Holly.
I'm here with Venus Monique. Now, a very unusual name, Venus. You're not going to forget that name, are you? Venus, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much.
Are you enjoying Content 2022?
I love Content 2022. This is actually my second 2022 because I was here in March.
Oh, you were?
Yeah,
okay.
I was.
Wow. Well, what did you come back for? What did you come to promote or come see or do?
So, funny enough, I'm not really here to promote. I just love the people and I love networking, and I volunteered in March and I volunteered this time. So I'm just like, I want to meet people and I want to know what everyone's got going on and all of that. So I'm an actor, but I'm not here to necessarily promote.
What? You're an actor, right?
Yes.
Okay, now you're really soft selling what you do, Venus, because you're in a very popular hit show right now. So we're not going to let you slip by like, oh, I'm just a volunteer. No. What are you involved with right now that people can look at right now and watch you?
I've been in Vindication. I'm one of the lead detectives. They brought me on in season 4, and so it's been amazing. I believe they just finished filming season 3, so we'll see what happens with that. It's probably in post-production now, and then I don't really know when it'll come out, but it's an amazing crime drama that I'm really happy I had a part in.
And what is unusual about Vindication? First of all, where can people see it, or if they haven't already?
You can see it on Amazon Prime, PureFlix, Redeem TV, Inspiration TV, and somebody just told me they watched it on Hoopla. Do you know what Hoopla is?
No, but what?
Oh, I'd never heard of it. But I guess if you have a library card, you can get Hoopla and watch it on Hoopla. But what's unique about it is a faith-based crime drama, but it's not in-your-face Christian. And so it's very subtle stories, very subtle lessons that have been sprinkled throughout. And the way that Jared O'Flaherty has written it is just so good, like very compelling. Someone was just telling me a while ago that they were sent the season to watch a little bit of it, and he ended up binging it like all night. He like canceled all his phone calls just so he could binge it. So I'm like, that's the stuff we actually hear. It's
wow,
awesome.
That's great. Yeah. I'm gonna watch it too, and I love binging, so I can't look forward to doing this.
Yes.
And it's in season 3 right now, you said?
Season 3 just wrapped, yeah.
Okay. So when will the next season come out? Do you know or not
That's
know?
a great question. I think they may have to wait until it gets approved and see what the audience reaction is, see what funding is, and then hopefully get a season 4. So if you're an audience member, really push for that season 4. Yeah, make it known.
Okay, as a Christian, when I think of the word vindication, paying somebody back, and it's a crime drama. So does it have a lot of payback, or does it has a lot of crime? What does it have that will vindicate?
Yeah, that is the awesome part. So yeah, in your mind, you're thinking vindication in one way, like the way the world does it. But then what about the way God vindicates people? That's kind of what it's about. Is you're on this journey with this character, and you think you know what's going on, but really you don't know the whole story, and so it's revealed, and it's just really cool.
And your character does what? Plays what?
So my character is Chris Tanner, detective, and so she kind of starts off in this like little bit uncertain in her role as this new detective, and then she forms with Detective Travis, which is played by Todd Terry, and they become a real good, strong unit, and she gets built up, and she just kind of has this really neat arc to her life. So yeah.
Okay, do you get to handle guns and do stunts and do all fun stuff?
I do, actually. Like, someone asked me, what's your favorite role? And I'm like, vindication would be my favorite role. I told Jared after season 1, I was like, if I never get to do another role, this was like it, because I do get to do the guns. Yeah. I do have fight choreography. It is like glorifying God, like overall, like it's all to point people back to Jesus. And I'm like, that's everything. Like, I love all of that.
I would love to do a show where you could do the gun and like you're shooting it, like all that stuff,
Yeah.
and do runs and jumps and flips and
Yeah.
wow.
I know. I'm like, the only thing I haven't done yet, Jared, if you're listening and you want to put me in more episodes, parkour. I would love to do parkour.
Oh,
do you know what that is?
No.
It's like the people that scale buildings and jump over stuff, and like they just make it look so flawless.
You want to scale buildings? You want to do that?
That would be cool.
Of course, Hollywood style. You climb up 3 or 4 steps, and then they look like you're high up
I know,
or something.
true.
I don't know, but you're the actors, they have to keep you safe. Okay, have you always been in acting?
I got serious about acting in 2010 when God told me to do it, because I tried it in high school and I was like, no, do not like this. But then God called me to it, and I was like, all right, then I guess I better go take classes.
Okay, so then what was your first acting? Was it TV commercials, or what did you do?
My first thing was a short film, and it was actually a horror film. But from that, I met great connections, which led to 2 voiceover projects and then a feature film. And so I started very small, and I actually started with Craigslist when I got to Austin. And that kind of like opened the doors to networking and learning, like, who's coaching here, who are the classes, and who are the casting directors. And so I just started networking from those little bitty projects.
Okay, folks, you can look on Craigslist and start your career there. I've never heard that before, but that's a great place to start on Craigslist.
Have discernment when you go to Craigslist.
No, that's true, but I want to inspire other people that you can start off that way and then become what you are doing, which is on a feature. I mean, everyone gets their start somewhere.
And that's what I love, is like everybody has a different story of how they got into acting, and because mine was so kind of like convoluted, I feel like I wanted to help younger ones who were also getting into the industry. So now God put it on my heart to do the Powerhouse Sisterhood, which is where me and a few Christian actors my age mentor young women in film. And so we have a group of girls. We just did our first retreat, and it's just amazing. They're all Christian women, and it's just amazing.
Wow. If someone wants to do that, how do they get in touch with you for that?
Personalpowerhouse.com. That is where they can go. It's called the Sisterhood. So if you go to personalpowerhouse.com and just kind of poke around the website, you'll find the Sisterhood and be able to join there.
Okay, I didn't even know that. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And if they want to get in touch with you as far as acting, do you have an agent, or do you just have a website? What?
I do have an agent. I'm with Treasure Coast Talent, which is Jean Winger. She's out of LA. But also you can email me, talktovenus@gmail.com. I like that one. It's very simple.
That. Talk to Venus
at Gmail. Yeah.
Good thing there's not a 900 number attached to it, but that's
right.
800 number.
Yeah.
And one more question: are you married? Do you have a family?
I'm married. We just hit 10 years, and I just absolutely adore my husband. 11.
So is he really proud of you that it's an actress and she's in a feature that's 3 seasons long? And
So my husband's in the industry also. He's been in for 25 years. So this isn't like anything new to him. He's definitely proud of me. He's so supportive. But yeah, this isn't like an unfamiliar world to him. So he's
okay. And what role would you like to play that you haven't done? What would you like to do in your career coming up?
See, that's the hardest thing, because I feel like in Vindication I've done most of what I would have wanted to do, and I even get the emotional roller coaster that I would have wanted. But Jared wrote that in, so I got to play that. So I don't know, like comedy. I realized recently I hadn't done comedy, but I just got cast in a pilot. Like, God's so good. I just got cast in a pilot, and so if we move forward, I've got a comedic role as the wife.
So do you feel vindicated?
I don't think I need it vindicated from anything.
Well, that's great. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
You have been so much fun. Listen, we want to keep following you, so let us know when things happen with your new season, because we'd love to have you back and talk more about it
absolutely.
and keep promoting you. Thanks so much.
Yes, thank you guys.
That was another great set of interviews that you did there, Holly.
It was a variety of people, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
it sure was.
we actually had a variety of talent and people and what they're doing. And it shows that in the not only the faith-based industry, but the film industry, the variety of films and things that are being done today for the kingdom. And it's exciting. It's exciting to see people out there making a difference.
Yes, it is. And one thing, and on the next show, I think we're going to touch on this next week about sort of the diversity that we saw at the festival. But one of the things that you mentioned is that we saw a lot of young people there.
Yes. Yes, we did.
Yeah, that was great to see some of the older folks. Is it okay to say older folks? Some of us older folks, in essence, mentoring some of those young folks. And it was exciting to me to see that, because it's that generation that needs to take up this mantle and carry it on through, through what I think could be our end times.
Right. And it was exciting too to see their passion for filmmaking and their passion for the industry and to get in it. And then also talk about passion, to see a man who was bullied when he was a child, and he gave his testimony how he was bullied all through his childhood and overweight and made fun of and had problems in school with learning, and then to overcome them and become this man of strength, and had an amazing, past with the power team and other, things that he did, but really get up there and demonstrate in front of everyone, not only breaking an aluminum bat and bending a pan. It was fun. It was fun to watch.
That actually was pretty amazing. Breaking the bats, I've seen them do that a lot, but this is the first time I've seen somebody take a frying pan and just literally roll it up.
I mean, with his arms, I'm thinking I would have hated to have been spanked by him when I was a kid, because it would have really hurt. It's children, it's like, ow. That guy's got strength in those arms, but he's a sweetheart. He was such a teddy bear and such a sweet man, and has a book. And so people, you should look him up. Google him, look him up. He's got a book. He tours. He does different engagements, and really a powerful testimony. Sorry to use that pun, but he was a powerful testimony.
Yeah, well, we've got one more show coming up from content that we did as a recap. You and I just sat and chatted about content and what we saw there, and I think it'll be a nice recap for everybody to learn. And of course, content has already happened. But if you want to know more about Content 23 next year, then just go to ChristianMediaConference.com. That's ChristianMediaConference.com, and you can begin to prepare yourself to attend Content 23, which I'm telling you, especially if you're in this industry, you don't want to miss this conference. So, well, Holly, we've come to the end of yet another show here. And of course, we want to remind people to write us. We really want to hear from you. We want to know where you're at. We want to know that you're watching the show. Just write us at FaithUnfilmedTV@gmail.com. That's FaithUnfilmedTV@gmail.com. And of course, you can always follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at FaithUnfilmedTV. And Holly?
And we want you to subscribe on YouTube. Go to YouTube, watch the show, and please hit subscribe so that we can grow our audience and followers, and also that we know that you're there. We'd love to see that you actually went to YouTube and followed the show. So thank you so much for doing that.
Absolutely. Well, Holly, you did a great job at all those interviews.
Thank you, Isaac. So did you, filming it all.
Yeah, I was just doing the camera thing. We can't afford a camera guy, so I have to do it myself.
That's important. We're a team.
That's right. All right, folks. See you next week.